The modern smartphone operates as a digital version of Times Square. It is a loud, crowded ecosystem designed to blast you with information, capture your attention, and fracture your focus throughout the day. This environment is physically mapped out every time you unlock your device. It is a grid of applications and bright notification badges, specifically built to pull your eyes down and keep you scrolling. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and designer Jony Ive have proposed a different model, the Lakeside Cottage. Their goal is a calm, focused environment where technology politely steps out of your way. Achieving that experience requires removing the screen. The resulting hardware is an ambient, audio-first AI interface that fades completely into the background of a user's life. However, the attempt to build this quiet utopia has already triggered a ruthless corporate war, billion-dollar buyouts, and serious concerns about mass surveillance. To establish their hardware division, OpenAI spent roughly $1.5 billion to acquire a secretive startup called IO Products. The strategy behind that acquisition was straightforward. OpenAI spent the $1.5 billion to poach elite, veteran design and engineering executives directly from Apple to lead the project. The team's current prototype, codenamed SweetPea, sits behind the ear and rests in a smooth, egg-shaped metal charging case. OpenAI is attempting to succeed where earlier AI wearables failed. Devices like the Humane AI Pin struggled to find a market, facing intense criticism shortly after launch. The pin's failure centered on latency. Every query required the device to send audio to a cloud server, wait for processing, and then wait for the data to travel all the way back down to the user. OpenAI aims to eliminate lag with custom edge computing silicon, codenamed Titan. By moving intelligence onto the device, they cut out the cloud entirely. This localized processing handles real-time translation and emotion detection instantly, without an internet connection. To manufacture this custom silicon, OpenAI has negotiated with SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son for billions in financial backing and technical support. These investments in hardware and silicon are designed to prevent the device from being dismissed as vaporware, the label that doomed previous AI gadgets. Moving from an engineering ideal to mass production is difficult. To manage the physical assembly, OpenAI has shifted its primary production orders over to Foxconn. The target is 10 million units. Building a new supply chain at that scale has already delayed the product launch until early 2025. Beyond manufacturing bottlenecks, the project is facing intellectual property disputes that threaten its core design. An audio startup called IO has filed a lawsuit alleging trade secret theft. They claim a former engineer stole confidential CAD files and prototypes and handed them directly to OpenAI's hardware team. The utopian design process is now caught in the industrial realities of mass scaling and high-stakes legal claims of corporate espionage. These technical and legal hurdles lead back to a core conflict in the SweetPea design. To function as an invisible assistant that understands your environment, the device must be constantly listening. It requires always-on microphones to absorb everything in the physical space around you. This requirement has caused internal turmoil at OpenAI, leading to the abrupt resignation of robotics head Caitlin Kalinowski. Kalinowski explicitly resigned in protest over OpenAI's recent contracts with the Department of Defense. Her departure points to a specific engineering reality. The ambient sensors needed to create a calm, lakeside cottage experience are functionally identical to tools used for mass surveillance. If you build an invisible device that hears everything, that data feed can easily be redirected into a centralized, militarized network. OpenAI's project now rests on a single, non-technical factor: whether a skeptical public is willing to strap an always-listening, invisible intelligence to their heads.